existence of my enemy, it is then my duty to regard him as my enemy. He has done his duty, I will do mine. You, go and do yours.
Right now.
This is perplexing.
We cannot understand it at all.
But no matter, our course is clear. We must do our best to capture these pirates alone. It is most distressing that we should be the ones to take away their most precious freedom. But we should have thought that before we joined the force.
We should.
It is too late now.
It is.
When a felon's not engaged in his employment, or maturing his felonious little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment is just as great as any honest man's. Our feelings we with difficulty smothered when constabulary duties to be done. I take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. When constabulary duties to be done, a policeman's lot is not a happy one, happy one. The enterprising burglar's not a burgling. When the cutthroat is occupied in crime, he loves to hear the little brook a-gurgling and listen to the merry village chime. When the coster's finished jumping on his mother, he loves to lie a-basking in the sun. I take one consideration with another. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. When constabulary duties to be done, a policeman's lot is not a happy one, happy one.
Not a word. I feel light inside. Hide quickly. The Major General is coming.
Yes, the Major General is coming. My conscience aches because of the terrible story I told. No peace, no sleep, and as I lie in bed, I thought I heard a noise.
He thought he heard a noise. Ha, ha!
No, all is still. My mind is set at ease. It must have been the wind.
It must have been the wind. Woo!
Papa! Oh, Papa! Now what is this?
What could call Father from his rest?
At such a time as night as this.
So very incompletely dressed.
What strange thing could have happened?
To call Father from his rest.
At such a time of night as this.
So very incompletely dressed.
Forward, my men, as these that general dare. His life is doomed. The pirates! Oh, despair! Frederick, you're here! Oh, joy! Call forth your men and capture those pirates!
Frederick, save us!
I would if I could.
But I can't!
He's telling the truth. He can't save you.
You deceived us! You tried to make us feel sorry for you! Our revenge is swift. Gather your courage and prepare for death, General Stanley.
Is he to die with no one to defend him?
Oh, spare him!
Is there no one with a weapon to defend him?
Oh, spare him!
Oh, help!
Yes, we are here! Oh, rapture!
And so, pirates, to constabulary, you will yield! We triumph now! Your mortal career is cut short! Our pirate veil will never be taken by you! Aha! You're right! You may have the advantage now, but your proud triumph will not last for long! Don't tell me you're orphans! We know that game! Oh, no! We have a stronger claim on you! We ask you to surrender in the name of Queen Victoria. You do? We do. We ask you to surrender in the name of Queen Victoria. We humble ourselves and surrender at once. With all our faults, we love our queen.
With all their faults, they love their queen. With all our faults, we love our queen.
Take them away at once.
Wait one moment. Let me tell you who they are. They're not common criminals. They are all noble gentlemen who have gone wrong.
They are all noble gentlemen who have gone wrong.
I'm overwhelmed. I ask you to pardon me, ex-pirate king, and I will pardon you. Go back to your duties and take my daughters. They are all beauties.
Wandering one, but you have surely strayed. Take heart of grace, your steps retrace. Poor wandering ones,
for working with us so hard and so long. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people that I have to thank. I have to thank the stage crew first. David Godfrey, who was a pirate. Kevin Lutz. Anthony Biondo, that took our video over there. Cheryl Corson and Ann Corson. Come out and take a bow. They're not even from our parish. They're friends of Sister Mrs. Roselli. Our artist was Mr. Tallis, and our second construction was done at our original Pirates by Mrs. Collins. I also like to thank Mr. John. Is he here now? From the Nativity Parish. Can he please come up? Mr. John Fauerbach. I didn't say his last name right. He's here. Come on up here. Come back. Go give this to me. He did some repairs for us on our scenery, our original scenery. We'd like to thank him very much. And he also helped us put up the scenery. We also like to thank Mr. Roselli for making some of the props, Mrs. Sacherica, Mrs. Rita Shant for the British flag. The gowns that were donated or loaned from Mrs. Marion Cordales, our 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Stacy McWilliams, our 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Eckroth, Mrs. Smolchinsky, Mrs. Rosicki, and Mrs. Roselli did the gown alterations. We also like to thank Veterans Post 821 for their Major General outfit, and Mr. Simon Seating for the mailman hat that was the Major General safari hat, and Mrs. Siegel for the rest of the costume. The pirate costumes, Mrs. Roselli, Mrs. Sacherica, Mrs. Somkowski, Mrs. Novak, Mrs. Zemansky, all the choir parents that helped in any way. The police shirts, Mr. Darabas, Mr. Kopaz, Mrs. Kopaz for ironing them, Mr. DiLeonardo. And we'd like to thank Monsignor for making this musical operetta possible. We'd like to thank Mrs. Huggard and Mrs. Collins for doing the programs, Mrs. Mary Savisa, our 1st grade teacher, for making up the advertisements, and Mr. Dumkowski, Mrs. Sacherica for being our rectory go-between, and Letitia Collins for helping out with the publicity. We also like to thank Jake and Alphonse, our janitors, for helping out. And there's loads of people that I don't even know that helped out with this. I'd like to thank you all. All the mothers that were here last night, Mrs. Holmes, the mothers that were in the kitchen, I don't even know all the mothers. The mother that went out and got iced tea, I don't remember. I know we needed iced tea. We ran out of iced tea. We were here all last night. Mrs. Bytoff, okay, thank you. All the mothers that helped in any way, I really do appreciate it. If I didn't have your name down, I do appreciate your help. And all the mothers that helped the children memorize their lines and made the children come to rehearsals. We also like to thank Mrs. Roselli, extra special. Is she here anywhere? Look at this way. Look at this way. She helped with so many things, I can't even tell you. Scenery, costumes, fixing the gowns, police hats. She went downtown with me. We got the police hats, the spats, everything else that she did. She knows what she did. Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming. And make sure you put your clothes away.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Miss Pinkowski and the choir for all their wonderful work today. They spend many hours here, and as always, Miss Pinkowski has done such a tremendous job.
and I think we can all agree they should get another hand of applause.